Hey everybody, Scout Crafter here again. One of the great things about starting this channel when I did is meeting a lot of nice people that are out there and that also enjoy tools and tool restoration. One such gentleman I met a few months ago was a gentleman by the name of Marc. And Marc and I started writing back and forth, and he was asking questions and whatnot. We were just discussing things, and what I found out about Marc is about 2013, Marc went into the hospital for a kidney stone, and turns out after a CT scan he had bad cancer, and so bad that the doctor on the time said, "Look, you better just go home and prepare for death." And Marc said, "Look, I got a beautiful wife and a family. I have no time to die, you know." So Marc fought it, tooth and nail, and you know, back and forth, and has been. And thank God he's still with us and still doing good. And one of the things that keeps Marc going is not just his family, but he likes to keep involved with hobbies and things like that. And that's how we found the channel and whatnot. And he thought this would be a perfect hobby for him. And so he wanted to start restoring some tools. He wanted, especially one of the tools he wanted to restore for his son was a Billings bicycle wrench. So he ordered one, picked one up, and this is what we're going to be dealing with today. So I hope you enjoy the project, and let's go check it out. Okay, so here's Marc's wrench, the one that he picked up. And as you can see, it's a Billings, and this had the early one. The early Billings didn't have, because of the machining process, they didn't know how to make this in one piece. Basically, it is one piece, but this way they just milled down here. They just milled the slot, and that's where the upper part of the jaw went in. Whereas years later, they figured out a way to do this without having this open slot here. So that is a weak point of the wrench. Let me show you what we figured out, what actually Marc saw right before he sent it to me, with that crack there. So we're just going to do a quick cleanup on this wrench and show you exactly what the problem is. Okay, here it is all cleaned up. You know, it's looks nice and everything, but you can see how that crack right there, that's going to be that one right there that runs from here down around to the other side here and over here. So that crack right there is going to be very difficult to fix, because you could grind it out, weld it, you know, put a bead in there, but because of the forces on the wrench, you know, it's really not an ideal situation here. So this wrench is one of those wrenches that is and if you do weld it, obviously it takes all the value away from the wrench. So it's one of these wrenches. What do you do in a case like that? And Marc and I were talking about it and said, you know, is it worth fixing? Is it worth parting out? Whatever the case may be. So I never liked this design. I never liked this cutout design in the back. That is something I never liked. So what we're going to do for Marc is we're going to swap this wrench out. And I picked up one of these a while ago. This is a real nice example of a nice Billings A model. And you can see it's the same thing, but it's the later model where they were able to machine it so that you didn't have that slot in there. So we're going to clean this one up for Marc, and this way he could give that to his son, and you know, and then he could hold on to this for whatever is a spare or something. But this is the one we'll send up for Marc and get this nice and shiny. So let's get working on that. This wrench has a couple issues itself. You can see here we have some deep corrosion pitting right there. We have some groin marks here. I don't know what happened with that. Maybe it came in contact with a tool or something. We have some embedded corrosion and rust on the bottom here. It goes around. So, and we have rust here. I would like to maintain some of the original nickel finish on the sides. We can do that. But we want to get this nice and clean and presentable. There is a little bit of a dent you could see in there. But, you know, let's get this fixed up and looking nice. Here's our post-wire brush evaluation real quick. Of course, the knurl nuts always come out nice. You can see here, again, we're going to have to take that down. There's no way that can be polished out. It's got to be ground down. The groin marks got to come out. The sides came out pretty good. The jaws look pretty decent, except for the top piece here. Now, the top piece here, you can see somebody tried using this as a hammer. It's a little bit flared out. You see that? See that flaring over here? That's got to be taken care of. You see up front too, there's a little bit of a, you know, flaring out there. Got to be addressed. And over here, we got to get rid of some of that staining to make it look better. The graduations are in good shape. The threads are in good shape so far. It shouldn't be too bad. And you can see over there, we got some flaring over there. You see that? That's all got to be taken care of. So let's do that now. Okay, our last step is a nice coat of carnauba wax after the polish, and that'll protect it. Let it dry up here after you apply it, and then when you buff it off, you could see what kind of finish we'll get. So that's always an important part, is that last coat of wax.
Now you know my favorite part. You remember what this wrench looked like before we started.
Okay, we are calling this project done, and Mark, I'm sorry I wasn't able to fix this wrench. You know, that crack is just it's just too much, and for my talents anyway. But maybe one day when I'm able to weld or something like that, a nice TIG weld or something across there, that might fix it. But right now I don't have that skill set. But we were able to get you started with a nice Billings. This one's really nice. You could see here the lettering came out real nice here, Billings and Spencer Co. And you can see the Model A over here. Came out really nice. Everything is just beautiful. This is the way I like them, you know. And wait till you try. Look how smooth this is, huh? I mean, you won't find a smoother operating wrench around. So I think you're really going to enjoy this. Mark, thanks so much, and I hope you enjoy it. Hope your son enjoys it, and take care. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.